The security guard at Ridgeview Central didn't acknowledge me. Maybe he didn't recognize me. Or maybe he did, and decided I no longer warranted the courtesy of eye contact. I stood alone beneath the polished ceilings, clutching a cheap plastic folder under my arm. From the glass-paneled office above, laughter filtered down, her laugh. Still sharp. Still overly performed. The kind that leaves a chill on your spine when you remember how genuine it once sounded in the dark. I walked up to the counter like just another man with tired eyes and worn shoes, carrying that fragile dignity of someone pretending things weren't falling apart. "Withdrawal form?" I asked. The young teller, all soft hands and synthetic smiles, glanced up. "Name." I gave it. He typed. Paused. Looked again. Without a word, he walked away. 30 seconds later, she came down the stairs. Red heels. White blouse. Pencil skirt. The smirk on her face was polished, like she'd practiced it in front of a mirror for years, just to wear it for this moment. "We don't give handouts to beggars," she said loudly, ensuring every ear in the bank could hear her. She turned to leave. I didn't respond. Not yet. Instead, I placed the folder gently on the marble counter and said, barely above a whisper, "I'm here to request a transfer of $4.2 billion. Routing details are inside." The atmosphere snapped still. So did she. For the first time in years, I saw her composure waver. 3 years earlier, she'd stood before a judge and promised transparency. "A clean split," she said. "No hidden accounts. No debts. Just closure." I agreed then. Exhausted. Emotionally flat. Believing silence meant the war was over. But silence has a way of covering decay. The first sign came from an old friend. One of those accidental dinners where too much wine unlocks unwanted truths. "She moved on fast, huh?" he'd said casually. "Who?" I asked. He tried to backtrack. But it was too late. Then came the credit report. Sent to our old home. Mine was spotless. Hers. 3 accounts at obscure banks I'd never heard of. Strange. She used to avoid numbers, claimed finances made her anxious. Always left the money matters to me. Or so I thought. It wasn't the betrayal that haunted me. It was the precision. She left after quietly siphoning every cent from our shared accounts. No noise. No drama. Just gone. Surgical. Now she stood at a desk labeled branch manager, handing out overdraft penalties and fake smiles. To her, I was just another broke soul beneath her heels. That's what she thought. I didn't explode. Didn't spiral. Didn't even ask why. I studied. 4 months. 4 cities. 2 burner phones. I followed the paper trail. Shell corporations named like bad thriller characters, Red Ember Holdings, Blue Stag Ventures, all created while we were still married. Not one was mentioned in the divorce filings. She hadn't just stolen. She had planned it. The passwords were predictable. She always favored dead poets. PLA 87. Frost leaves fall. She never thought I'd remember. But I broke in. And there it all was. Transfer logs, doctored statements, false claims, time-stamped evidence showing she'd begun erasing me long before I ever packed a suitcase. Then I found it. The crown jewel. An offshore trust still in both our names. Holding more than $4.2 billion. She hadn't just taken from me. She'd buried what was ours, then rewritten the ending so she could be the survivor and I the ghost. So I waited. Waited until she was confident. Until she believed I was truly erased. Then I walked into her bank with nothing but that folder and a request for $150. Not because I needed it. Because I knew she'd try to shame me. Her voice lost its smug edge when she read the figure. $4.2 billion, she said, barely audible now. The assistant manager leaned over. Papers in hand. Tax IDs. Notarized permissions. Routing instructions. All legitimate. All connected to both our names. "Is this real?" the assistant asked, eyes darting between us. She didn't reply. Didn't blink. Because right then, she realized the door had slammed shut. "I recommend processing the transfer," I said calmly. Then I leaned closer. just enough so she could hear. You forgot to close everything, sweetheart. Her face drained of color. Her fingers trembled. She wasn't used to this kind of panic, this kind of powerlessness. I didn't raise my voice, didn't taunt her. I simply stepped back and let the truth settle in around her like falling ash. I didn't take the money, didn't want it. I froze the account instead, my legal right as a joint holder. And I sent every shred of evidence to the bank's internal audit department. Fraud, misconduct, breach of ethics. She wouldn't serve time. People like her never do. But she'd lose the empire she built with stolen bricks. Her title, her income, her carefully curated image. And as I walked out, past the glass office where she sat stiff and silent, she didn't look up, didn't say a word. Her world was cracking now, quietly, the way mine once did. But colder, slower, more poetic. Outside, the air carried the scent of burnt metal and rain. I lit a cigarette I didn't even want, just to feel something warm in my hand. I thought I'd feel relief, vindication, closure. But inside, there was only space. Not peace, not hurt, just emptiness. And in that stillness, I finally understood. She hadn't simply left me. She erased me. But now, I am the ghost she cannot outrun. Even if we never meet again. Even if no one speaks my name. I am the shadow at the end of her story. And the balance has been settled.